Hello and welcome everyone. This is Chris from England, and as promised I am back in 2013 with the first of many new free videos to help you learn English. Hello to everyone on the Learn English as Easy as Pie Facebook page. Happy New Year to you, and thanks again to Mojtaba Yagubi for sharing this video. This is the first of many I will be posting this year, and I hope to continue learning in 2013 as we did in 2012. So to start with this first video of the new year, I wanted to talk about something which I think is quite important. It is going to be about British English versus American English. So what are these two things? Well, I'm from England, so in the UK the type of English we speak here is known sometimes as British English, and there are some differences to that spoken in the US, which is often called American English. So I think that it is useful to know, but I don't want people to be stressed about it, because there are some differences which, if you know and can get them right, it's going to really help you and improve your level. But if you don't, it doesn't matter, because we can understand, for example, as a British person, I can understand virtually all American words and expressions anyway, so you don't need to get too worried about this, but it can improve your level a lot, especially if you are looking to travel to Britain or the US. You'll be aided a lot by knowing the correct words and expressions. To help with this lesson, I've written a short kind of dictionary. It's in the YouTube description or on Facebook, so if you look below the video you're going to find this, and there's a list of resources which I will mention briefly later. But first of all, I'm going to talk through the dictionary list of words, and you are going to see that they are in pairs. The British English word has the letter B next to it, and the American English word has the letter A next to it. I'm going to read through this list now. These are the most common and useful ones I can think of. So the season of the year between summer and winter in British English is called autumn. In American English it's called fall. There are a few to do with travel. In British English we call the motorway or the main road the fastest roads in the country between cities. In America they're called highways. In Britain trains travel on railways. In America they're called railroads. In Britain, especially London, there is an underground transport system. The train goes underground. We call that the tube or the underground. In American English it's called the subway. And if you are parking your car in Britain, you park it in a car park, and in America in a parking lot. In the UK, if you need to get up to a higher level on a tall building, you take the lift. In America it's the elevator. If you're sending a letter, in British English you need the postcode. In American English it's the zip code. It's the short code at the end of the letter, of the address, sorry. And in British English you are normally sending those in the post. In America it's the mail. So in British English as well, an item of clothing which men wear on the legs, it's trousers, and in American English it's pants. So in British English pants means male underwear. That's a big difference, important to know. In British English, chips are the type of food that you cook, for example, with fish and chips. And in America, they call these fries or French fries. I think in America they call chips the ones that you eat in the bag from the shop. In British English we call those crisps. This one is a tiny bit rude, but not very. So if you're pissed off in Britain, it means you're angry or annoyed, and if you're pissed, it means you're drunk. In American English, if you're pissed, it means that you're angry or annoyed. The verb to joke, to make jokes in British English. In American English it's to kid, or you're kidding. Now we pronounce the last letter of the alphabet differently. British English it's Z, American English it's Z. In the kitchen or the bathroom you use a tap for the water in British English. In America it's called the faucet. A faucet is very unusual. British people won't understand that probably, so that's one you need to know. Now there are some grammatical things, for example spelling. British English, words like organisation and realise use the S. In American English they use the Z. Check the description to see the spelling. The nouns of licence are different. In British English spelt with a C as opposed to an S. The verbs are different. I don't discuss those here. A few words end with ST as opposed to E. For example, whilst and amongst in Britain, while and among in America. If you're using certain conjugations of verbs in the past simple tense, they will end with a T in Britain as opposed to an ED ending. Burnt and learnt as opposed to burned and learned. Finally, about sport, and I love sport, so this is important for me. Football, my favourite sport and the most popular sport in England. Now in America they call it soccer, in Britain they call it football, okay? We call it football. So in America when they talk about football, we call that American football. So this is confusing, isn't it? But in America, the sport they call soccer is football in Britain, and the sport they call football in America, where they throw the ball, that's American football in Britain. So this one's very important, because if you come here and you say soccer, we will know that you are, from America, or that you have learned American English. That completes my dictionary. Those are, the most common ones. I think they are all useful to learn if you have time. So please study them if you can. And because this is quite an important thing, I've given many extra resources which I have checked, and they should all be useful. So these are at the bottom of the list of words. So let's have a look at these. We have some articles from the BBC to give further evidence of the differences and importance of these two things. There's the influence of American English in Britain. There's an article on Britishisms, that's British words in America. And the third one is quite interesting. It explains about why some British people get annoyed when people use American expressions here. We have exercises for you from the British Council and a spelling quiz that you can try. And then there are some YouTube things. For example, my free lessons on YouTube are all about British English. If you know them already, you'll have seen me always talking about British English. So please join me on YouTube or the other websites to learn about that. There's a link to a few videos about American accent training if you prefer to do that. There's a video which compares British accents and American accents. And the final two ones are very extensive lists of vocabulary. One is from English Club, and the last one at the bottom is a very good one called Effing Pot, which is dedicated to guiding American speakers to British slang and stuff. So if you have time and you're very interested, those two websites can offer you far more vocabulary than we had time to discuss here. So that concludes my overview and introduction to British English versus American English. I hope it helped you understand more, but remember it is not so important, okay, so don't worry. Let me say thanks again to Learn English as Easy as Pie on Facebook and to Mojtaba Yagubi. They're doing a great job there as always, so please keep checking that site for more videos like this and for more useful lessons every day. And in the YouTube description at the bottom, you can find a list of my British English websites where you can learn more free online. So please join us on YouTube for more videos like this. You can add us on Facebook, Twitter, WordPress, Tumblr, and a new Skype address. I'm going to start thinking about doing that, so it's BritishEnglishTutor. If you check the YouTube description, all these things are there for you to read. So please contact me if you want to. Thanks very much for your time and for watching. I hope that your English has been going well over the winter time and that this helped you. I'm going to be back with many more free videos soon, so please keep checking, and I hope to see you then. So this is Chris from England, wishing you the best from the UK for now. Take care. I will see you next time.